Good morning. $376 trillion. According to the Federal Reserve, that is the amount of consumer debt in our nation as of December 2016. $1.28 trillion. That is the amount of outstanding student loan debt. The research I will share with you today shows that nationwide student loan debt and general consumer debt are increasing. While many agree that this is a problem, there are a variety of solutions. Today, I will present to you a solution regarding personal financial literacy education. I will argue that it is essential for high school students to receive a comprehensive and mandatory personal finance education before they graduate high school in order to decrease a variety of risky financial behavior as adults. The financial activities of individuals impact our economy as a whole. I believe that it is important for every person to take responsibility for creating financially responsible adults in our society, whether you are a parent, an educator, or a community member. Today I will share with you some relevant statistics on the current financial concern of young adults, show you why financial literacy belongs in high schools, and give you an actionable suggestions on what you can do to impact education policy. So, why is financial education even needed? Let's look at some research. The Federal Reserve's 2016 report on consumer credit tells us that the total consumer debt in December was $376 trillion. This is an increase of $842 billion just since 2012. The Institute for College Access and Success reports in their Student Debt and Class of 2015 report that 70% of 2015 college graduates had student loan debt at the time of their graduation. The average debt was $30,000, while the highest was $53,000. The Federal Reserve estimates that the total student loan debt in our country is $1.28 trillion, which is higher than any other category except for mortgage debt. The 2012 report on national findings on financial capability in the United States shows that young adults age 18 to 34 have greater levels of financial stress, are less able to afford unexpected bills, borrow more money from family members, and engage in more expensive credit card habits than older adults. What these statistics tell us is that young adults face many financial concerns and that a solution needs to be found to create smart consumers. So, what can we do? Some may question why this financial responsibility or why this financial education should be the responsibility of schools and not of the parents who are raising these young adults. Let's look at the 7th Annual Parents, Kids, and Money Report, which was released in 2015 by T. Rowe Price. There were quite interesting results. Of the parents that were surveyed in this report, about 80% felt that they set a positive example for their kids, though 40% also said that they use a do as I say, not as I do approach. About 70% of parents said that they are reluctant to talk to their kids about financial matters, mostly because they don't want their children to worry. When asked about their own personal financial knowledge, only 28% felt extremely or very financially knowledgeable. Parents in the survey were also asked about teaching their kids about finances. 91% said, I think it's appropriate for kids to learn about financial matters in school. 75% said, I think there should be a personal finance requirement to graduate from high school. And 80% said, I don't think schools are doing enough to teach kids about financial matters. Regarding expectations for when their children become adults, 80% expected their kids to pay for at least part of their own college education, while 60% felt that their child would benefit from taking out student loans, their own student loans, in order to learn how to be responsible debtors. The general picture that these statistics show is that while parents may have good intentions, they recognize that often they are unable to provide all of the education that their child needs in order to be responsible and educated about personal finance before they're responsible for their own debt. Now, Let's talk about what schools can do. Research shows that states with well-implemented personal finance curriculum programs graduate students who are more knowledgeable about personal financial concerns and have more positive financial behaviors. The 2010 Financial Capabilities of College Students from States with Varying Financial Education Policies report by Michael Gutter and colleagues says that these students are more likely to have a savings account, more likely to pay off their credit card every month, less likely to max out credit cards, and less likely to participate in compulsive buying behaviors. Now, you may be thinking, if research shows that this is so beneficial, it must already be happening in our schools. Not quite. The Council for Economic Education has released a 2016 survey of the states that investigates personal finance and economic programs in high schools around our nation. What this report tells us is that among 50 states and the District of Columbia, 37 states require personal literacy standards to be implemented in their school districts. 22 states require high school personal finance classes to be offered, while only 17 require students to take this course. Only 7 states require standardized testing as a measure of student proficiency before they graduate. While there have been an increase in these numbers over the years, still only 6 states, or still as many as 6 states, do not have any statewide personal finance standards. Each one of these research and reports that I have already mentioned in my presentation agree that students who are educated in personal financial issues tend to be more successfully financial adults. In order to make sure that every high school graduate has these skills, it is essential that states not only offer but require students to take these personal finance courses. So, what must happen in order for these changes to be made? Well, the first step is to educate yourself. See what the standard is in your community and in your schools. The Survey of the States is a really great resource to look and see what's happening in your state. The next step is to take action. Get the contact information for your local schools, your school boards, your state Department of Education, your state legislators, and share what you have learned and share your concerns. Request the changes that you want to see and ask questions about exactly what needs to happen in order to make policy changes. We have come to the end of the presentation today. My hope is that you will continue to think about this issue, think about what I have shared with you, and do your own research as well. Please keep in mind the numbers that started my speech. $376 trillion in consumer debt. $1.28 trillion in student loans alone. This enormous number is just one small piece of evidence that changes need to happen within our education system. Fortunately, there is something actionable that you can do today to make a difference for the young adults as they start building their own financial futures. Research backs up the idea that young adults are dealing with a great amount of financial stress, that parents are looking to schools to help provide education and resources, and that there is a positive correlation between high school personal finance education and greater financial decision making. Do your own research, reach out to the members in your community, and see what you can do to create change. Thank you for your time and attention today.